there's a lot of things here at the end of this delivery that I see as breaking down, which is the trail leg. Instead of saying into extension, the hip saying the extension, it's shooting flexion. The lead leg, not terrible, but you are having a little bit of leakage of the block. I just see it as a kind of a positioning thing. And then with your upper body, you're going to see that your early launch, chest behind the lead knee, not getting a whole lot of shoulder extension at ball release, which is something that we want. And then the arm deceleration pattern, in my opinion, can be a little bit better as well. We just want to make sure that the plane, right, we're matching plane of shoulder rotation. So from glove side all the way to release, and then matching that plane. I saw in the broadcast video as well, instead of you throwing it and then finishing in that same plane of rotation, you kind of cut yourself off and come up a little bit. I think there's a little bit more arm acceleration to be had if we can decel better. Now, again, there's 3 different videos you sent me. I think all 3 of them are somewhat a little bit different. So this is, I'm assuming, a game video. So a lot of the same, big breakdown patterns that we're seeing are prevalent in each of the videos. So that's why I was saying, I really want to focus on the biggest factors, right? The biggest factors and what's limiting us from getting those goals of velocity development. Let's go ahead and start from the top with Dylan C. So I mentioned it a little bit earlier with the drive leg. I don't think it's the biggest thing for you, but I want to show you what a little bit of stability looks like, right? So getting into our drive phase, you can see that drive leg is in a much more stable position, all right? Much more stable and much more sturdy to then do what we need to do within the lower body mechanics, all right? Now, the biggest piece that I mentioned too with you is the ability to segment your 2 rotations, all right? Segment the 2 rotations, meaning we want to initiate our hip rotation pretty much at the center cut of the drive phase, right? We want to initiate that hip rotation. You can see the heels start to peel off, and then the hip's going to start to internally rotate. And now at this time, this is when his arm is in his retract phase, all right? So you're going to see the elbow retract. So now what you have is at full anchor point of the front foot being down into the ground, you have this crazy abundance amount of rotational energy, right? So you can see by the way his hips are positioned and the back foot, turned, that his hips are well into rotation. His lead leg is in knee flexion, much better positioning. And now his upper body is still neutral, right? Upper body is still neutral due to the stability that he has in his trunk and his upper body's glove side to stabilize through space, right? And now we just release this rotational energy, and the lead leg is going to be, again, in a much better position to block that. You're going to see the knee go into extension here, and now this is what I was referring to you earlier with that late launch, right? Shoulder extension over the lead knee, and then the hip staying in extension, and maximizing that kinematic sequence that we have from what we produced into the ground and then what we blocked with the lead leg, all coming up the chain, and then having availability of that through the fingertips at ball release. All right, now I don't expect you to look like that, dude. I